storm slamming Southern California. Along our coast, people are being warned about dangerous high surf that could surge above 12 feet. We're going to take you there live.
I'm Eric Spillman in Sun Valley, and hey, guess what? We saw the sun here for just a few seconds a few minutes ago, so maybe the storm is tapering off in this location. It has, however, caused a lot of problems with minor flooding. We'll have a live report.
And I'm Annie Rose Ramos in Duarte, where neighborhoods like this one are bracing for mud that could come down the mountain and over these K-rails. Coming up, you'll hear from residents what they are worried about the most and how they plan on weathering this storm.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Holmes. The storm bringing snow to our mountain communities. It's also foggy, the roads are slick. The warning to drivers.
Good morning, I'm Sam Rubin, brand new here at 10 o'clock. The Bachelor gets his pick of bachelorettes. What professions do they encompass? The answer may amuse you, it amused me. And this, it's a huge hit, East New York. The CBS show, The Leading Lady, joins us live.
Good morning, everybody. We are seconds away from the top of the hour, 10 o'clock. Thanks for making this part of your day. I'm Henry DiCarlo in for Mark Pisky this morning. We're talking about a lot of rain. Eric Spillman talking about how that rain, at least where he is at, starting to lighten up. And that is right. This storm passing through rather quickly through Southern California. It has dropped a lot of rain. It's still doing that. But the brunt of the system still working its way out. We will continue to see some scattered showers through the afternoon. We could even see some pop-up thunderstorms. So the chance of some brief heavy rain still with us through the afternoon, but clearing should be with us, or at least a tapering off of this storm. Still some areas especially pressed up against the foothills, places like La Crescenta, Pasadena, Sierra Madre, Glendora. You're still looking at some strong rain, Santa Clarita as well. And as we look at our mountain camera here, we are definitely looking at some windy conditions, especially up towards the mountains. Snow level relatively high for us, about 6,000 feet, 6,500 feet seems to be a safe bet. It will lower as we get into the afternoon and that cold front passes. We'll show you that 7-day forecast. We'll talk about your weekend. We'll do that in a few minutes. Right now, Frank, let's send it back over to you.
And we begin with some new information on a story we brought you in the last hour. Crews have just cleared that rock slide that was blocking the westbound lanes of Pacific Coast Highway at the Big Rock Drive in Malibu. LA County Sheriff's Department is warning people to slow down, especially through that area.
And our storm is flooding some local intersections in the San Fernando Valley.
Our good friend, Eric Spillman, has been on the scene, standing in the rain in Sun Valley for the home viewer.
I know.
I was going to go out there and join him in this hour if I could get there in time, but then the rain tapered off. What's the point?
Exactly.
Spilly, take it
Took its
away.
hood off and everything.
Thank you. There is no one more generous than you are, Frank.
I give till it hurts.
I appreciate the gesture. Maybe some other time, the next time. Look as we scan the skies, and you'll see a little bit of blue sky. I've been standing in the rain here for 6 hours. Now finally, just a few minutes ago, we actually had a few seconds of sunshine. But we have had a lot of rain here, heavy downpours all morning long, and you can see that the runoff is still flowing into this intersection here at the corner of Glen Oaks and Sunland. Lots of it. That shopping cart that you see right there by the crosswalk, you know what? I think that actually floated down here. It was pushed down here by the amount of water, the volume of the water, the volume of the runoff that is still pouring through this location. Now, let me show you some pictures from earlier, because the rain started at around midnight or so, and we're talking heavy downpours. The forecasters were saying we could get as much as 1.25 inches per hour. I believe we got that in this neighborhood, at least. Just a lot of rain and causing minor flooding, just like the forecasters said it would, in various parts of Los Angeles overnight. Van Nuys early this morning had already received 1 3/4 inches of rain from this storm so far. And you know the number is higher now because we've had several more hours of rain. All right, I want to show you some more pictures from just a few minutes ago. What's it like if you happen to be outside today if you're a pedestrian walking around. Well, in this neighborhood, crossing a street, you're going to need rain boots. I know we don't normally need rain boots here in Southern California, but today you kind of do. Otherwise, your shoes are going to get soaked. And here in Sun Valley, drainage is always an issue. It's really not news to the residents that there's minor street flooding in this area because it's something they're used to. And we spoke to a woman who's lived here a while who says, you know what? It's always like this. Here's what she has to say. So you brought the boots here, I see.
So I am a local here in Sun Valley for over 20 years. I bought my rain boots probably about 5 years ago because I live here on Glen Oaks. So of course I cross the street a lot in the rain. I used to ride my bike in these puddles. It was quite fun.
This happens all the time.
All the time.
What's going on in this neighborhood?
We don't have rain gutter systems that go into the sewage. It's an older town.
Yeah, so it's an old part of the town, and that's the reason why that happens. At any rate, rain seems to be tapering off for now. And in our location, we happen to be near this billboard. Right up there, it says, "Go from thirsty to water-wise, saveourwater.com." And a reminder that we're in the middle of a drought. And even though all kinds of water is flowing down the street here, as we look over in that direction, all kinds of water there, unfortunately, it doesn't do anything to help us with our drought. It's good to have it. It's the snow in the mountains that really makes a difference. We'll send it back to you.
And the good news there, Eric, as you know, the snowpack's, I think, 170% right now, so we're on a good trajectory there. Eric, great job as always.
Let's keep it going.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, in the San Gabriel Valley, residents have been warned about the potential for mud or debris flows in the Fish Fire burn scar area. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos live in Duarte with a look at the cold and wet conditions there. Annie Rose, good morning.
Hi, Frank. Good morning. Yeah, LA County Public Works putting a phase 2 mud flow warning in effect for this area. It went into effect starting yesterday, and it's going to go until tomorrow morning at around 6 a.m. But to give you an idea of the precautions they put in place, including right here, this K-rail, we wanted to come on the other side of the K-rail in order to show you, Frank, just how much has built up in the past 24 hours of rain here that has seen steady rain here in Duarte. You can see it is tough to get through this. It's sticky mud, but it's not just mud. It's debris, it's sand, it's everything that's coming off of the mountain you see behind me. Dan, our photographer, is going to pan up so you can see that stream that's coming off of the mountain. It's mud, it's debris that I'm walking through, and it's coming down here and hitting these K-rails derailing this entire area and keeping it from hitting the about 24 houses that are at risk here in this storm. But we did manage to walk down and talk to some of the residents here who say they are worried nonetheless because it was so dry over the summer. They are still worried about all the rain and possibly mud that could come down from this mountain and hit some of their homes. Take a listen.
If I'm worried about anything right now, it's because with all the drought we had, the ivy in front of the house and on the hillside on the side, burnt. And so there's nothing holding the hill now. And the neighbor, we had a wall put up, and I'm afraid that the amount of rain we're going to get might get down to the footing, and then there will go the wall.
All right, Frank and Jessica, you just heard Carmen right there. She's been living in that home since the 80s. This is some of her video that her and her son's sharing with us from 2017. Their house is just a few houses down from the mountain I'm standing next to right now, and you can see the mud coming down Mel Canyon Road right in front of Carmen's house in 2017. And it's because of what happened then that they're taking those precautions right now. You can also see the cars and trash bins being moved down the street by the mud and debris, just all of that mud and debris. She even talked about boulders coming down the street. Another reason why folks are asked to clear out their cars and trash cans starting last night. Now, again, the city of Duarte is saying they are prepared. You are seeing a live look right now. We're going to come back live and you're going to see Mel Canyon Road. All you see right now are K-rails, and that is because the city of Duarte putting the city into a yellow alert, and that means you got to move your cars, you got to move those trash bins. That is all supposed to be off of the street because in case that mud does start flowing down, they don't want it to take the cars and the trash bins with it. So the only thing allowed right now on the street are those K-rails to divert some of the mud that might come down. The sheriff coming around every few minutes, we've been seeing them. If someone does have their car parked out, they say you could be towed away and that they need to move immediately. All of those yellow alerts and those phase 2 mud flow warnings from LA County, those are going to be in effect until Friday, tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. So until then, residents bracing for what could come down this mountain. But as of right now, you can see right now, Frank and Jessica, just not that much, not enough to breach any of these K-rails, and that is a good thing for right now. Reporting live, I'll send it back to you guys in Hollywood.
Annie Rose, you and Dan Lunsford, a terrific report there. Really gave us a good perspective on what's going on up there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Great work.
Snow is coming down in our local mountain areas.
Yeah, snow combined with rain and dense fog impacting travel in our mountain areas. KTLA's Carlos Herrera live in Big Bear with a look at conditions there. We saw some beautiful snow falling, although now it looks like it stopped. Carlos, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, after 45 minutes of consistent heavy snowfall here, we're back to that moderate rainfall here in Big Bear. It's been like this for the last, 15, 20 minutes or so. However, we can tell you this rain much stronger than when it was earlier this morning, and the wind starting to pick up as well. That was also a concern. Take a look at this video here shot just moments ago of that heavy snowfall that I was telling you about. It started at around 3 a.m., then lasted about 30 minutes, then it stopped for several hours, then picked up again in the 9 a.m. hour and came down pretty hard here in the downtown Big Bear area. It didn't last much, but enough to get a few inches of it to stick on the ground. Over we go to some video in Snow Valley shot earlier this morning as well. That area expecting several inches of snow to fall consistently throughout the morning. A winter storm warning rather, now in effect through 6 p.m. and a flood watch also in effect in the San Bernardino Mountains until 10 p.m. And as the storm continues, the icy road conditions on Highway 18, they're going to be a problem for morning commuters. We met Sean Johnson and his family earlier this morning. They drove up here on Tuesday before the storm. They wanted to avoid those dangerous conditions on the highway.
Definitely.